This is before and after shots of the console I took apart and redid to put back in the truck. Hope you like it. So I'm working on the center console. When they originally had the seats in the truck, they had them sitting really wide. Front driver's seat wasn't even, steering wheel wasn't even in the middle of the seat. So the console was 8 inches thick. It's 4 inches now. That's half of what it was. What I did was I just took one side off and I split everything down half to make it 4 inches wide. Right now what I'm doing is changing the angle, because originally they had it set up, it was real wide in the front, and I want more space in the front. I don't want this big bulky thing. So originally they had it that the cups were oriented like this, which now I have them oriented like that. So it actually cut it a lot thinner. The other thing I'm doing now is I was looking at the height to where to get these. And one of the issues I'm having is if I get these both, this bend, this has got to be on a flat and it's in a bend. Right there, it's got to be on a flat. And so this curve right here is in a way. And you notice I'm drawing these lines because I'm going to have to extend this out, keep the flat to about here, and then curve it up. The other thing I got to make sure is this is going to be my power port, which gives me USB 3.0 and a little on-off switch, and that's going to go right here. And I don't want it too far down by the cup. I want it up here. I'll be able to turn it on, have a power port, and 2 USB 3.0 ports that will go right here. I got to make sure that when I move it from this angle to this angle, not much, but I just want to make sure it's not going to hit anything, and it looks like it's going to be good. So now what I got to do is I got to copy this angle. I was going to try and bring it further down, make it as low as I can get. Then I'd have to cut off the little, I got to fix those anyway, because these are for boats, and that's for the liquids to drip out when it spills into the cup. Problem is, I don't want it to spill into here. So I'm going to melt those and flatten them and make them flat. So that'll actually be a plug. Or, still thinking I might just put a screw in there and have this hold it down. Right? And silicone the screw at the bottom. Haven't decided yet. This I'm going to reskin. I saved the covering. It had this color covering on it, and I saved it. And since I'm making this smaller, I should be able to reuse it and put it back. Also, I'm going to use white. It's going to go on the top here. It'll be on the lid and then on this piece here. So I still got to figure that out. And that piece I decided I'm going to cut off. Originally I was going to have the hinge tie there, and that's where it was going to hinge, but I'm going to cut that flat. Still doing some mock-up on it. But getting there. I'll do some videos when I didn't take a video of me taking it apart. I mean, anybody can take a piece apart. I didn't build this whole thing. This was a big, bulky, I should have taken a picture of it. It was big, bulky. It was about, I already cut about, I'd say 6 or 7 inches off of it during the length that way. It was also about another 4 or 5 inches higher. So when you looked at it, actually, came up to about here on the seat. Really boxed in because the seat's already got armrests, and then this guy was raised up like an armrest. It was just too much. So now what I have it sitting right about here, actually height of the seat. I'll show you. Get it in there again. So I have it sitting like that, and it used to sit all the way up here, which kind of took away some of your space sitting in there. So the other thing I'm trying to do is seats move forwards. And that's why I was thinking of cutting it right here, because of the bottom of the seat. I don't want it to rub. And it might just make it, if you see it out of the seat. I'll push this back a little bit. And it's just touching. But that would be with the seat all the way forwards, so I think I'm fine. Let me see how it kind of curves in there. I kept the curve so it fits in. I actually put a, if you look in the bottom, I cut out for the hump because I got to put a high tunnel in it, so I had to give it a little recess for it. But that's it for now. That's where I'm at. I got to do some cutting, some fitting, and I'll try to take some steps as I go. To put the curve in it, if you wonder how you put this curve in, you can see this curve here, right there. You put slices, and you can see them. I filled them with bondo, but you slice it, and you see the slices in here. Don't go all the way through, and that gives you the ability to bend it. You put the slices on the angle you want to bend. And then what you do is you fill it in with bondo. Now nobody's going to see this. This is going to be covered, so I'm not worried about the look. In here I'm going to put some panels and see if that fits. Toying with that idea. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in there yet. But it's where it's at right now. Give you an idea of its orientation. Hopefully it comes out. If it doesn't, I'll just scrap it. But I think it'll work. So I'll have this color on the sides. I'll have white in the middle. And it'll kind of fit in with the chairs. I made my marks. I'm going to cut it right here on both sides. I went and got myself a new jigsaw. Black & Decker. It's got these marks on here for curves. I guess it makes a better cut. So I'm going to find out. So you can actually see better where it's been sliced right here and then filled with bondo. Now that I cut it, you can actually see the lines better. And that's how you make the curves. You slice these, don't go all the way through, and then you can bend it. And remember, the bends, you can put them in any direction once you got them in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have to fill a little bondo. But I'm going to go in there and make sure this is flat. I got a sander. I'm going to sand it down and make sure that this edge and this edge are the same across. So I'll do that next. Got to go get the sander. But that's a start. That's the angle. I'm going to pause for a second. I want to do some measurements. So what I'm measuring, you need a flat spot, and it's got to be flat all the way to where this ends, even where the curve is. This can't go inside here because this is going to be flat. Coming around, there's going to be a flat piece that goes like this. And so this has got to make it all the way to the end of the flat, and then this has got to be right here. So with that, now with the new cut, they'll fit. They'll fit within the flat. This bend will be gone, and 2 cups will be there. So, works out pretty good. Definitely gonna have to sand these flat. This edge got tilted, I don't know why. But gonna get the sander, flatten that out, and we'll be good. Okay, I'm back, and use my trusty flat sander. Checking for flatness. Take a flat board, run it across, make sure the edges are not wobbly, nice and flat across. Still got to cut this piece off. What I'm going to do is it's going to be a piece of mylar for the top, and it's you can heat it, and I'll show you how to do that. I'll put these bends in it here, 1 bend, 2 bends, 3 bends. I'll heat them up, keep them flat here, so they will conform. Put another piece in there. Piece is going to go like this. You're going to have to cut a piece out here. What I'm going to do is use one of my scraps. Using the pieces I cut out, which has got the curve in it I need, made a line on the outside. I marked this up for the inside. Gonna pause. Wife needs me. What I'm doing is beveling the edge so it can fit against this piece. Then I'm going to round this corner off once I get it to where I want it. So this is what I did. Hopefully you can see that. It's beveled. That fits in right up in here. Just got to get a little more, get this one side down a little further, this side here. All right, hopefully you can see this. I made this piece here. Bring it up. See these two pieces? It's gonna fit like that. Basically, you can see I put an angle on it. So they're gonna kind of fit like this. It's got the shape here. This piece fits inside here. I'm leaving extra because I got to round this off with the sander. So I'll leave that extra. I'll sand that off later. Same thing with this piece that goes in here. The top's got to get sanded. So I left extras. These will be flat. This will be flat. Here's where I'm going to cut out. I got to cut out these holes for that plate to go in. This is actually going to go right here. And so if I get everything oriented right, let's see if I can turn this so you can see it. Somewhat a tight fit, but just slightly. So I mock it up. These guys fit. They're upside down right now. That piece is going to be good. I still got to make a piece that goes here. I might leave that open so I can clean it out. Not sure yet what I'm going to do here. That's a start. I still got to make the top piece. Still got to sand this out. Still got to cut the holes. Still got to cut this off. Got to cut the holes for these, but real close. All right, so here's where I'm at. I cut the holes in for, this is going to be the US port, the charger port, and a little switch on and off. Made the hinge, used the door hinge. This is all going to be covered. This is the way I hooked this up because I want this piece to be able to come off and on. This will come up to about that far. Some of the things I just did, I just put bondo, good old bondo. Bondo is your friend. When you're working on these wood projects, the cool thing about bondo is you can fill in any area that you need to and sand it down. So what I've done is, all the screw holes have been sanded down and filled. The seams have been sanded down and filled. And I'm getting ready to cover it. I still got to sand down this side. I haven't done that yet. I did the one side. I got to do this side. Sand it down, get it smooth. I'm probably out of the picture, but get it smooth. And then I'm going to skin it. And shouldn't be a hard process. I mean, seen it done before, and I think I can do it, so I'm going to give it a shot. I got this far. This is going to work pretty good. I like this. I use a door hinge. It's really solid. It's not going to bounce around. It's going to stay. But I'm going to finish doing some sanding with my trusty little sander. This guy's probably about, I don't know, 20 years old, maybe less. Just realized that the cord here is starting to fray, so I'm going to have to wrap that. But I'll come back. I'm going to sand this down a little bit, and then I'm going to check the fabric, get it kind of close. I bought a little a stapler gun that I'm going to use to staple with instead of using the hand. It's an ass stapler, and we'll see how it all works. So I'm going to cut this end of the video and move on. So I'm going to do my first piece. It's going to be the armrest, so it's going to be a little sponge. I've already just brushed this with some of the DAP glue, letting it get tacky. You're supposed to brush it on, give it a minute, and then take the two pieces and stick them together. So while this is curing or getting tacky, I've cut, this is part of the baseboard. This will be the sponge, and this is going to be the white that's going to go on top of it. Already getting it dirty, but I already cut the corners, so the corners will fold in the way I want them. I'm actually watching it. I can actually see it dry, see where the wet spots are. So if all goes right, stick these two pieces together, and they're going to stick. Cool. Sorry about that, but my compressor just kicked off. Alright, so now I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to brush some glue onto this so I can stick it down and be able to glue these two pieces together. And I do not have a spray gun for glue. Just using an old brush. So, still got to put the backing on the back side. And I still got to cut some of this off, but that is it for the first piece. That will go here. So that's going to be part of the armrest. I'm going to pause for a sec. Alright, getting ready to do the second piece. Alright. I gotta put the hinge back in, but these are the two pieces. It's gonna be the armrest. So what I'll do is I'll cut the excess off. I'll also put a backing on here and clean that up a bit, put the hinges back on. That's where I'm at for now. I'm gonna pause.